up for questions.
Yeah, I told the team as soon as we figure out, basketball is a 40-minute game rather than a 20-minute game, we're going to be pretty good. But until that time, we're going to have nights like this, and we were obviously not very good in the first half in any capacity, our defense, our offense, everything, and we were lucky to be down. What were we down? 13 first half. I mean, that was. We were fortunate. We were fortunate to be down 13, to be honest with you. But credit to our guys. They regrouped in the second half. They strung some stops together, and kept believing in each other. And the crowd was great. I mean, for this kind of temperatures we're dealing with right now, and to come out at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, I mean, our students were great. So, but we didn't give them, what they deserved in the first half. We did in the second half because we strung together stops. We got out in transition, and then that got our ball movement better. They were playing that zone, going to man. We kind of figured that part of it out too, and we're going to see that next Thursday when Oregon comes to town. So that was a good precursor for us. But good win. I mean, I was proud of our guys for gritting it out in the second half and really guarding their tails off. 8 turnovers. Fantastic. 9 assists in the second half, fantastic. 24% field goal percentage defense, fantastic. So did enough things to win a game tonight, but we weren't at our best.
The first half defense for your team, it seemed like guarding the ball wasn't much different than we saw in the second half at Cal. But what changed?
Nope.
What
well, we switched all ball screens in the second half. And we doubled the post if it was coming in the post against our guards. So that's basically it. We just changed our ball screen coverage. It was kind of, for me, it was a last resort. It was like a frustration move because our ball screen coverages were so bad. Our ability to guard the ball was so bad. But in the second half, our guys did a great job with the switches, with our communication, and we didn't get hurt inside when our guards got switched on their bigs. So I think we got hurt one time on a switch where we didn't crack down on a roll guy, and they got an easy layup. So and then we tired them out. Look, USC was shorthanded without 2 of their best players. So we wanted to wear them down. I thought our pressure in the second half defensively, our energy was so much better than in the first half, and that created some havoc for USC.
With all the guys out, Kobe Johnson kind of becomes their de facto go-to scorer. And it seemed like Cody had him for most of the night. What impressed you about what Cody was doing? I think Kobe finished with 10, but he had that garbage time 3. What was Cody doing?
Yeah, I thought Cody's using his length and keeping him in front of him, getting through screens. And then other guys guarded him when he got switched off. But I thought Cody did a good job of getting through screens. And then, he's really good at using his length and not fouling. I think he fouled him one time there in the second half. And we got 2 free throws out of it. But for the most part, Cody's length and his ability to time, and contest shots is really, really good for a freshman. And so he's an important defensive presence for us. And J'vonne Hadley, I thought defensively was great with his energy level. And Eddie switching on the ball screens, and KJ. All of our guys in the second half were fantastic. I thought Luke O'Brien's minutes in the second half were off the chart good. So that's what you need.
Coach, the players said that you're generally pretty positive in that halftime. How do you approach a halftime going into it after a half like that, and then even coming off of the Cal game?
Well, I think, look, it's easy to go in and yell and scream, and because I'm frustrated. But I know our players are frustrated. I know our players were and I'm not saying they were doubting themselves, but they're disappointed. So I think if I felt like they didn't feel that way, it might have reacted a little bit differently and lit into them. But my thing was, guys, we'll figure this out, but we have to start on the defensive end, and we have to dictate with our defense. Switching the ball screens helped, but our energy level, our not letting them just pass it wherever the heck they wanted to pass it. We kind of let them do whatever the heck they wanted to do in the first half, but in the second half we dictated with our defense. We talked about that at halftime, and our guys did it. Credit goes to the players. Players win games. I like to sit here and say coaches win games. Coaches don't win games. I can help lose a game, but I can't win a game. These guys, the players, win games. They make plays.
What's to say for your bunch going forward that you've been playing pretty well at home, but tonight didn't shoot the ball great from three.
Right.
KJ had his lowest scoring, got out rebounded.
Yeah.
Yet you still managed to find a way to rally late.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do in league play, because again, you're not always going to be at your best every night. Now we've got to be better than we were tonight next Thursday against Oregon, because again, USC was shorthanded tonight without their two best guards. So that was a good hop for us, but yeah, we got to continue to get better and understand that it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to find different ways to win games, and I just think offensively, we got a lot of guys that identify themselves, and they're identifying with their offense, and it's if we can get their defensive identity where it needs to be, then we'll be able to win big games and a lot of games in this league. But if we kind of go back and forth, it's going to be tough.
How far along do you feel that defensive identity is being established? 50%?
Well, we're talking about it. That's the good news. But we're not going, again, putting two halves together. And that's, so we're not there yet. And it's been like that since the beginning of the season, even in the non-conference. So, they didn't shoot 50% in the first half, but they shot, well enough. And we just, our ball screen coverages weren't very good in the first half, but in the second half it was a lot better.
You look at J'vonne Hadley, you see the glue guy, but there's a lot of things behind the scenes that he does. He was such a big factor tonight. What do you see from him? And what
he's so much. Glue guy does not do him service. I mean, he is, because he does so many little things, and to me that's the definition of what a glue guy does. They make they do the little things. They set screens. They play defense. They get their hands on balls. But he's becoming an offensive weapon for us, and he's very unselfish. He makes the right play. 9 times out of 10 offensively. And he competes his tail off defensively. He had 9 defensive rebounds. I was a little disappointed in Eddie's offensive rebounding and J'vonne's offensive rebound, because I thought those guys could really, get some second chance points on them. I mean, when I guess Eddie had 3. That's not bad. KJ had 3 as well. So I take that back on Eddie. 3 offensive rebounds. We'll take that every night. But I just think offensive rebounding was something we talked about with USC that we could do and we needed to do. And we missed 20 shots in the first half, and we had 3 offensive rebounds. So again, that's effort, that's energy. It's like if you just go and crash, you're going to get some. And so we still got a high ceiling that we've not even scratched the surface with yet. Certainly in the last couple of weeks.
You mentioned the low turnovers, and even in that, a couple of those were the early questionable charge calls. I think one of them was a tech, so it was really only a couple actual giveaways.
Right. Yep.
And it's 2 games in a row with a season. Is there anything that just maybe happened or not happened in these couple of games that was happening throughout the bulk of the season? I
don't know. I think it's your players that are making better decisions and making simple plays. And we only had 3 turnovers in the second half. We had 5 at halftime, I think. So. I was really pleased with that, and we fought foul trouble. KJ, he hadn't been in foul trouble all year, picking up. The second call I think was probably a good one.
Coach, was there a concerted
the second call?
Was there a concerted effort either from you as a game plan or just the players in general to not let their bigs get going? Because it seemed like effort's always there, but they seemed like they just took pride in not letting them muscle their way through. Yeah, and I think early in the game, their bigs got a couple easy ones. I wouldn't say they're easy. They scored over us, but if they're tough twos, my whole thing is we got to take away threes. And they had 4 threes at halftime, and 3 of them were by shooters. So the bigs were like, if Eddie's on a big, like we'll go one-on-one with him. He's a really good one-on-one defender down there. I trust him a lot. Now. Again, they played a bigger lineup, so sometimes when smaller guys are on those bigs, that's when we got to have a double team package, and we did a better job of that in the second half. Didn't really get to it in the first half, but switching is a factor in that, because when you switch, Eddie's on a guard, and he did a great job tonight, but now one of your guards is on their big, and that's where we need to give help and be ready to come double when the ball does go in there. We did a pretty good job of that. I think we fouled once, but really didn't hurt us a whole lot.
Coach, you've had some big individual individual performances this year, but tonight all starters took at least 9 shots, but not more than 12. What was it like seeing such a even scoring chart?
Yeah, I told our guys after the game, the thing that makes this team so good, in my opinion, and so dangerous is we've got multiple guys that on any given night can score the ball. And some, against Cal, Eddie had 22. Against Arizona State, J'vonne Hadley had 19, a career high. But our balance is so good, and that's what we need to understand is we just have to rely on each other offensively and not have an agenda. Make the right play. The defense is going to dictate what play needs to be made, whether you're shooting a jump shot or you're post feeding the ball or you're cutting or you're hitting the roll guy or you're throwing back for a fill-up jump shot off a ball screen. The defense dictates what you need to do. And if our guys will just understand that and adhere to that and make simple plays and have 8 turnovers, we're going to have multiple guys in double figures, which we've had many times this year. And we weren't at our best offense. We didn't shoot the ball as well as we're capable of shooting the ball tonight, but we figured out a way.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep.